Hello, beautiful people. It is Oshun Kimi, your sage, your guru, your mystic, and your spiritual informant. And today we're going to talk about how to turn curses into blessings. In other words, how to turn negative energy that someone has sent to stagnate you, to depress you, or to destroy you into positive energy that will help you ascend to higher blessings and to your higher self. And one of the most important things about the process of transmutation is that you need to know what energy you have the power and capability to transmute. Because the same thing that I said in my previous video about how to return negative energy is true here as well, which is that not all negative energy needs to be returned. And for the case of this video, not all negative energy necessarily needs to be transmuted. We need to know when to transmute, when to return, and when to relinquish to a higher power or source. And so the foundation for both of these practices of returning energy or transmuting energy is having a strong spiritual connection to your spiritual court and your spiritual team. We need to be checking in with our spiritual court on a regular basis. We need to be telling them what we need. We also need to be asking them what we need to do in our day to day situations. And so sometimes they may tell you, this is what you need to do to return energy. These are some things you need to do to transmute energy. And so I am going to offer 3 ways for us to transmute negative energy into positive energy. But it's important for us to understand that the ways that we best transmute energy is going to depend on our own spiritual gifts. And if you need help finding out what your spiritual gifts and powers are, that is when I would recommend a reading or consultation with me or someone that you trust. Where if you were to get a reading with me, we would go through the conversation of who your spirit guides are, what energies you walk with, who your ancestors are, and then we would be able to come up with a spiritual transmutation process that is specifically tailored to you and your needs. With that being said, let's now get into the transmutation methods that I'm going to share today. The first method for transmuting negative energy that I am going to share is going to be foundational to the next 2 methods that I'm going to offer. And this first method is visualization, using your spiritual eyes, your spiritual sight to change the energy that is around you. When we are truly tapped in spiritually and we are seeing with our spiritual eyes and not just our physical eyes, we will be able to see the negative energy that is sent around us. In my previous video about witchcraft breaking herbs, I talked about how negative energy actually looks in the spiritual world. Negative energy takes the shape of these black orbs and they look like little solar flares, but they are black. Those flare balls will come towards you and your energy depending on what it was sent to do. And so, if the energy is a psychic attack, then usually those black orbs will be landing on our heads and landing on our third eyes and landing around our temples. If the attack is intended to cause fear or anxiety, then those negative orbs will kind of begin to land in the heart areas and in the solar plexus areas. And so essentially what you would do is what I would call a body scan, where you will be looking with your spiritual eyes to see where energy is heavy or disruptive in your body. You can think about this in terms of what emotions you are feeling and where are you feeling them at. Once you have identified anywhere that there is heaviness or darkness or grayness or fuzziness in the body, then you would go through the process of envisioning a change to that energy. You can envision a white light, a blue light, a yellow light, pouring and washing over you and purifying all of those imbalances that you see in your system. You can envision yourself in a river, washing yourself clean. You can envision yourself in your idea of what heaven looks like. You can envision yourself in the arms of your ancestors, your angels, and your protectors. And essentially, what you will be doing is creating a portal in your mind and in the spirit world to that healing that you are envisioning. You will be aligning a spiritual vision to your physical reality so that the healing that you are envisioning in the spirit with your mind is going to connect in the physical as well. And that is how powerful our minds are when it comes to visualization. You can shift your reality simply through the process of imagining a different state of being for yourself. The second way of transmuting negative energy that I am going to discuss has to do with using your voice, speaking what you want in your life, speaking against the things that you don't want in your life. You should regularly be speaking against false prophecies spoken over your life. You should be speaking against all negativity spoken over your life, your photos, your name, your family, your home, etc. When we speak, we create sound waves in our reality. And this is why it is very important to speak and be intentional about what you say to bring the changes that you want into your life. Because essentially, when we speak, and those sound waves penetrate our reality, our words will have direct effect on the energy that is surrounding us. And of course, we can amplify the words that we speak by using a sound bowl, by using a bell. You can also snap your fingers, you can clap your hands, you can stomp your feet. You can add sound to amplify your words. And the better that we are able to do both visualization and speaking at the same time, the more powerful our transmutation process will be. So when you speak, I have peace over my life, and at the same time, you can envision a golden light of peace surrounding you, then you are working with two very powerful tools of transmutation at one time, and your energy field becomes more shielded, and your aura becomes lighter, and your spirit becomes more elevated and higher. And as we practice this on a regular basis, we become more impenetrable to spiritual attack, and we become more unconquerable. So you can have a list of affirmations that you like to work with on a daily basis. Me personally, I do a lot of things from the heart. I check in with myself every morning to see what is going on in my energy and what do I need to hear to elevate my energy back up towards a higher version of myself, because we have to understand that our energy and the high or the lowness of our vibration is going to determine what energies we are walking with on a daily basis. So if our energy is low and we are depressed and we are angry and we are jealous and we are greedy and we are operating out of low vibrational energies, then our experience as a whole is going to be low vibrational. But when we are speaking positively, and we don't even waste our breath or our voice speaking negatively, then we will be able to align ourselves to the most positive timeline that we possibly can. So when your mother said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, that is the mantra for our lives. And even when we have negative thoughts, we need to be speaking against those negative thoughts as well, because our thoughts shape our reality too. The last method of transmutation that I'm going to offer has a lot more to do with the body. Any energy or emotion that you have not transmuted is going to remain in the body. And so, this third method is about incorporating intentional bodily movement. The more mindful the exercise and the activity, the better. And when I say mindful, it means that the activity and the movement that you are doing should be directly tailored towards moving any negative or stagnant energy in your body. So things like yoga, things like intentional dancing, especially if you are dancing in ways that are indigenous to your ancestry. Because I got very heavily into yoga and into dance as I got more connected to my spirit and my spiritual court. And these types of practices of moving energy through physical movement is what is known as Tai Chi in Asian and Chinese spiritual practices, where it is all about moving and shifting energy with your hands, with your feet, with your hips. There are many different ways to move and process energy. So please always rely on your intuition. If you feel that you need guidance, that is where a reading would come in handy. Hope that you feel inspired to change the energy around you, and to know that as you change the energy around you, you will change your very reality. You will change the types of blessings and opportunities that you have access to. And you will change the stature of your spirit and move up in spiritual rank. And until the next video, peace and blessings. Selah.